G'day, Aussie Bonsai Bloke here you go. Well, today, or the same as last video's day, if you guys are astute enough to notice, I got the same clothes on, drinking the same coffee. I thought I'd do 2 videos in one day. Not to put 2 out in one day, but just to have a bit of a backup in case I have a lazy day or another drunken weekend like last weekend and I'm too tired to do a video. I've got a backup just sitting there waiting to upload. So that's the idea. And maybe if I'm a good boy this weekend and don't drink, which I'm planning on not drinking because I've got to lose my big old pork belly. I might even try and get a couple more ahead on the weekend and have a couple nights off later on, just in case, or just saving the archives for later on. No worries, let's get to this tree. This tree is a Melaleuca of some description. It's a bit like a honey myrtle, but I'm not sure. Like, it grows similar to the honey myrtle, but it's got a purple leaf. So I'm sure someone out there knows purple, not leaf, flower. Instead of having the yellow flower like the honey myrtle, it's got a purple flower. I don't know whether it's like a bractifolia or something. Who knows? But it has a purple flower. The flowers haven't opened yet. They're very close, but I'm going to work on the tree anyway before they do. Not because I don't like the flowers, just because I'm ready to work on the tree and I can't wait for it to flower first. But what I might try and do is cut the flower open so that you can see the colour of the actual flowers. I let it flower last year and it looked really sweet. So this tree I haven't been working on for very long at all. It's been used as a bonsai for a few years by another bloke, and he sold it to me for quite a good price. Basically just paid for the pot. I don't know, it's going to be hard to tell, but you can sort of see some purple there. It's like a pale purple colour. But yeah, so anyway, this here, we're going to also do like the mallee style. And this hopefully will be a little bit more suited, although it does still hang down like the bottle brush does. I really got to get one that everything just grows upright. And then I can do the mallee style, but that's alright. We can persevere. Okay, so if we're ready to do the mallee style on this one, I'm just going to grab a big bunch. Now this tree has one of the sexiest looking bases out of all the trees in my collection. Just love the base of this tree. Okay, so that's not really working. But anyway, I'll do that. Maybe I'll cut it back a little bit harder. So there's one level. Let's just roughly do that. Then I'm going to have another level around here somewhere. Be a bit higher. Let's cut it back to that. Pity to cut off all these nice flowers because it looked quite beautiful last year when it did flower. This is a good tree for you to see me doing it right from the start. Like, this tree's had not much work from me at all. A lot of the branches that it used to have all died because it was kept in too much shade by the previous owner. So this big back branch died. Bit of a pity because it was a pretty cool old back branch. I'm going to leave it on there. That actually is one of the main roots around the front, which go into the ground at the front. So without it, the root base is not going to look that great. So let's see how long it lasts. If it rots out and disappears, well then we'll, you know, come up with a different idea then. I'm wondering whether or not we can keep a lot of foliage down there, which will meet up with this one. It's possible. Have a high lot here, higher lot. So you're just grabbing a handful and chopping. Chop some of the low hanging ones out. One thing I might do differently with this one, I'm not going to go along and pull all these baby leaves off, I'm really not. But one thing I might do differently is, once I've got general shape, is actually go through this one, and even though it's going to thin it out a lot, actually choose only 2 branches from one location, because if I start doing all my trees like this with 3 or 4 branches from one location like I did with that other one, and then find out it's not going to work, I've got a heck of a job ahead of me to bring them all back into some sort of you know, control, if they do get inverse taper where this branches out up here. Okay, so then we'll have another lot. Maybe we'll use this lot. Just got to choose, you know, you just got to think, oh well, the top of all that branching similar to that one, so let's do it to that one. Cut this one similar. So yeah, I'll try and work out roughly what this tree is, and if I do, I'll try and put a photo up of it in its natural form, and if I can find one as bonsai, I'll also do that. See if I can work out what it is. Okay, let's go a bit higher. You want a bit of a division in the height from the low ones down here. So they're all pretty similar to the same height. These ones could go a bit lower. And if I chop some of it off back to the woody stuff, bad luck, it'll just have to reshoot. These things back bud like mad, so don't have to worry too much about cutting them back too hard. Main thing they need is sunlight, and that's about all you have to worry about. So yeah, I'm not sure whether this tree is quite ready, so I'm not going to go too hard on it. If it's got some straggly bits, bad luck, I'll let it reshoot again. I've only had this tree just over a year, and when I got it, it had almost no foliage. It was very close to death on a lot of the branches, and as you can see now, she's pretty healthy, but I still just got to be careful. Just don't want to go too hard on it. Okay, might just match the other side of the trunk with this one. So that one there is going to match that one. Ooh. Watch out for those scissors, son. Watch what you're doing there, boy. Okay. We could probably take a couple of these little ones here and do the same with them. Doesn't matter whether there's some intertwining ones that are the same height in the middle. They can be. Same with these ones back here. Clean it out a bit. A little bit hard to get in there, but not too bad. I'm getting there. This one's going to take a lot longer to develop, I feel, because it's got a lot smaller branching and it seems to have a lot less vigorous, still vigorous, don't get me wrong, but a lot less vigorous than the what do you call it, the bottle brush that we just worked on. Okay. Where are you coming from, son? Oh, you're already cut off. Should I keep two there or not? Who knows? Who knows, man? Okay. So it's still looking pretty straggly. Like I say, we're going to stay a little bit straggly. We're not going to go crazy on this thing straight away. We're going to try to preserve some of the foliage to help the vigour of the tree, because it did, like I say, it did have a hard time before I got hold of it. So we just got to respect the health of the tree. Sort of that. So we could leave this one, or I think we'll get rid of it. So chop there. That one's the same as that. This one's the same as this one. Could probably take the height back a little bit. And there can be the same. Not really talking as much as my usual self, because this is quite a challenging style for me, mainly because I haven't done it much, you know. Normally I just go to the old go-to style for me, which is generally like general go-to style, I guess, is the informal upright, but when I do those, basically I'm just looking to put branches in the right spot to fill in gaps and have less gaps, and that's pretty much all I'm trying to do when I do that. Now let's go up the top. Whereas this here, I think for me at the moment, takes a little bit more thought. I'm sure this will become, you know, second nature sort of habit once I've done it a few times. And it's not that bad, you know, just sort of going in here and chopping away. But just making me think a little bit more than usual. Okay. Another one that height. Another one here that's going to go at a lower height. And I'm going to leave some of this to grow up with that, because just thin that one out, because I need more branching to go up with it, and at the moment it's very long straight bits, which long straight bits are fine. You have a look at a mallee in the nature, And it actually has one big branch coming out of the top of the one lot of apex, or the top of the tree, which say here. You'll have one or two branches come out and then it'll start to divide up the top. So I was undecided then as to whether or not I run with two separate apexes. So I've got one here, this height, it's actually a lot like doing juniper pads in a way. So one at that height, one up there. Like I say, I got a lot of straight branches, but that's fine. I'm not about, with this sort of style, I'm not about trying to zigzag everything around. Straight branches to me are fine. Let's chop everything back a bit, all the long leggy stuff. So yeah, this is a really interesting way to style a tree. So here I could mimic the other side almost. I guess you could say a mallee style, they have multiple apexes, some down low, some up high, but they still, I know you don't technically call this an apex here, but it sort of is, you know. You get one level of the tree, another level, then maybe up to the top. So it doesn't look much now, but as this fills in and develops, it should hopefully become something in the future. So yeah, completely different to before with the other styling, how I just basically cut everything back to two shoots in one location. Here I'm not so much doing that, although on this tree I do want to reduce the amount to, I want to go in these crowns and just reduce it to only two from each location. 3 maximum. I'll just do one first just to see how much it does thin it out. It is really thinning it out. Sort of making it lose the look that I was after. So that's the one I thinned out. I guess eventually it would probably, I'll just get rid of the major ones where there's 3 or 4 from each location. Get rid of some of those. This tree's actually not as bad as the bottle brush for having that, I don't think. It's not too bad. Pretty happy there. Okay, well I think we're getting down to the final look for now, and then next time we'll come in here, we'll hopefully get a little bit more division in the right spots and just get it to improve a little bit. Okay, so a lot of these now have only got the 2 from one spot, but not the whole way. Some of them still do definitely have 3, even 4 from one location branching out, but if it creates a knuckle later, I'll deal with it then. I don't actually have that many trees that I'm going to do in this style, and I'll be able to keep an eye on them and have a look. For the most part, that bottle brush so far doesn't seem to. Alright, well it is thinning it out a bit by doing this. Okay, I'm happy to call it at that for now. Come back here and do some more work on it again another day. Tree, I'm really happy with it. It's really starting to get some really, you know, healthy foliage all over it now. And a lot of strong growth, which is really great to see because it was, you know, touch and go there for a while and pretty unhealthy. Whereas now, it's putting on a lot of growth. I'll just show you some of the foliage that I've cut off. It's not all of it, but it's some of it. So if someone can ID that with a purple flower. It grows a bit like the honey myrtle, but just with a purple flower, not the yellowy flower. The lace honey myrtle. Pretty cool. Alright, well, look, I'll put the light behind it and give you a spin as well with the light. And then without, no worries. Pretty happy with how it turned out. It's another mallee style. This one doesn't look nowhere near as developed as the bottle brush. I hope you know, be sort of semi-kind to me because it's only in the early stages. There's even a few branches that I haven't pulled out that fell that has already been cut. Anyway, cheers for watching Aussie Bonsai Bloke. Please like, share, subscribe. Tell your mates about the channel. And I'll catch you next time. Cheers. Hang on guys, bit of bonus footage. I'm just got to go for a walk and get some wire. I was just looking at the camera. Hope this Bluetooth's working on me ear here. I was just looking at the camera. I thought that spot over there, that looks way too bare. It looks stupid. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to fix that by dragging a couple of these over By the way, this wood is extremely brittle, so got the dead one at the back I'll tie it onto. This wood is extremely brittle, so be very careful when bending, and if you're going to start putting big kinks in it, well, basically good luck, because it's pretty hard to. And as you can see, it's been cracked quite a few times, and then the branches recovered out at a weird angle, which is kind of cool. Like, he's put a lot of character into it now because of all that, but most of his bends did not work out. It ended up in a crack. Even as simple as just moving that over there can cause a crack, just that little movement. It cracks so easily, but such a cool tree. Okay, so there's that, and then I might just drag this one out there as well, this littler one, just to fill in the area a bit, because it's very bare on this side of that trunk, and I really can't see anything that's going to grow into that spot in a real hurry. So let's be proactive here and, whoops, you can't see, and drag some over. I only really noticed when I went to take a photo of it. Sometimes you got to stand back and look at your tree, get a different perspective on it. And another good tip too, if you aren't sure about your tree, another good tip is to look at the actual camera screen. And the camera screen don't lie. If it looks crap on the camera screen, probably is crap, probably really crap, because it basically emphasizes anything. So it'll look sort of okay like this. You take a photo of it, and if it looks really dumb and stupid, well, chances are it probably is. A lot of my, and I'm not paying anyone out, because most of my trees look bloody hopeless when I take a photo of them, so just sort of emphasizes the bad bits, you know, if things aren't balanced out or grown, like filled in properly and stuff, it just really shows it on camera. The camera is a pain. Okay, so you can see there, you got that section filled in now, so that's pretty cool. And the fact that it crosses the main trunk behind, I'm not too bothered by that. It's all good. So let's just give it a quick spin now like that. Just checking if I can do guide wise anywhere else, but no, the rest of it's not too bad. I'll stay like that for now. I can guide wire things later if I need to. Just really crank these down. Cheers for watching, and I'll catch you later.